Where's the damn music playing? Who knows? It's in a window somewhere. And then we do that. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Let me click on things. Welcome back to some more early morning barking. Talking about BPD and MPD. Adjusting our volumes, doing all kinds of things. But here we are hanging out live on the internet. Just you and me. There's very few of us. We're quite unique in the world, but I feel good about it. I feel positive. I feel like I'm making connections in the universe, out there finding people. I'm just talking rubbish. Sometimes I just start talking and I forget that I'm actually filming myself or doing stuff. I'm also aware that I'm filling time because I've sort of found whenever you start a live stream, it takes people a little while to turn up. So I don't want to do anything important in the first few minutes of a live stream. So I just sort of talk rubbish for a bit. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can fast forward a few minutes because you're not really missing anything, to be perfectly honest. Or maybe you like this rubbish. I don't know. But if you're watching live, what we're waiting for is other people. That's how it goes. Anyway, I hope you're well. Maybe I'll get bored. Maybe I'll just start. I don't know where I'm going to start. Ultimately, that's the problem. So I'm also stalling until I come up with a good idea. I assume everything's working well from a technical standpoint. Viewers, is it all good? I'm sure it's all good. Probably. Are you all good? We're all good. Things work. So, what can I tell you about? What have I been doing? I've been working on some t-shirt designs. That's a thing. Because I keep talking about t-shirts and I have something I could show you. If you're interested in seeing that sort of thing. Because it's out there on the internet and I've just never really said anything about it. But it was because the things I had on my Spreadshirt store were a bit crap before. And I think this is a bit better. But I still only have one thing. There are other things to come. But I love this t-shirt. And I'm going to order my own one soon. Where are we? I need a button to press that shows you my desktop. There we go. This is the early morning barking. early-morning-barking.myspreadshop.co.uk. That's a link and a half, isn't it? That's a link and a half. Anyway, I did these t-shirts. And this is it. It says it's a BPD thing. And I love this t-shirt. I'm quite pleased with this. And it's in a sort of... I'm going to use this font, I think. I spent ages choosing fonts. There's nothing on the back or the side. It's on the front. And you can have other colours. And there's... I tried to keep it simple. It's the same design but with different styles and colours. I don't know how you set the price of things on this store. But it goes mainly to Spreadshop, but also I get some, which is the whole point of it. I kind of want the hoodie. And again, you can pick the colour. I kind of like that one though. But there are others to come. And they come in sticker form. Because I kind of want one for my laptop. And a fridge magnet. And a mug. There's a mug. I kind of want the mug as well. How are we doing on things? Hello, more people. This is good. So that's... Yeah, I like the white hoodie as well. Oh, that's the woman's premium. I didn't know there was a difference between men and women's hoodies. But apparently there are. And how are these out of stock? I don't have any. That's just a sticker. But I love these t-shirts. And I kind of want that one and that one. I want all of them. I have a black design that I haven't put up, which is just the same thing in black. Because you can do... I mean, come on, it's easy to do lots of different colours, isn't it? But like I say, there are others to come. I should advertise this stuff more, shouldn't I, really? I guess I'm doing it now. I guess I'm doing it now. I can put lots of other I can put the design on all kinds of things, but you can kind of go overboard. And they're not all great. And I don't want a tote bag. Do people really want tote bags? Is that a thing? I don't think that. I've never seen anyone carrying a tote bag. Or have I done that and just not noticed? That feels like quite a claim. I've never seen a tote bag being used in real life. Not once, not ever. They're a myth. Yeah, if it's a bag, isn't it? I don't know. If you need a bag, you need a bag. Kind of like the purple. The purple with the yellow. That's not purpley enough. That's not the kind of that's burgundy. Heather burgundy. I want somewhere between that blue and that purple. You need a site link, don't you? Let's give you a site link. I'll put it in the chat room on YouTube. There you go. Like I say, other things to come. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I keep having ideas for things and like putting on a t-shirt. And historically, I've done some really crap t-shirts. I have done some well-selling t-shirts, but I've done some crap ones as well. And I'd like to do some good stuff, to be perfectly honest, going forward. Thank you for asking in the chat room if I'm feeling okay. Yeah, right. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a lot better than I was because I feel like I've done stuff, right? I feel like I've had a day of productivity a little bit. I don't know why. Oh, I made a video. And a video that seems to be doing all right so far. Everybody go and watch it. But not if you're watching the live stream. Stay watching me live. Thank you. But I'm okay. There's been a lot going on. A lot of personal life stuff that I'm not really going to talk about because it's not really pertinent. But lots of stuff going on, like I say, and so you get caught up in that mood. You spiral, don't you? And I've been sort of spiraling, but I think I hit the bottom of it, and that the bottom of it wasn't very low. Right? It could have been a lot worse. So I don't know. I feel positivity in activity, and so that is helping a lot, right? So thank you for asking, and thank you everybody for being here because this helps. This helps massively when I get like that. But then it's just having people to talk to, isn't it? I can just sort of ramble at. And you lot have that unfortunate situation of being, you like the person that I can just talk at. You're never going to talk back. Well, only in text form. So I can just unload. And so days like today, videos like today are quite satisfying to do. And people seem to get a lot out of them, which I like. So I do like to do these sorts of things every so often. Well, when it comes up, I don't really like to do them because in order to do videos like today's video, I need to have been in a bit of a state. So I'd rather avoid that if at all possible, obviously. But seeing as that's not possible, then I might as well, make some hay while the sun doesn't shine for me. And get on with it and do videos, and it supports other people, it helps other people. I like that a lot. So it's good. Are you all well, people watching? I hope you're all good. I hope you're all good, because we go through some rubbish, don't we? And I'm going through some rubbish, and I know people who are going through some rubbish. Both people who are going through it themselves and going through it for other people or with other people, and sometimes it seems like a never-ending cascade of stuff falling on us, but This too shall pass, as they say. This too shall pass. Just keep swimming. Chin up. Hang in there, baby. And all that stuff. So I was going to talk about more on spiraling. And I think I've already kind of started, haven't I? By the way, if you're listening live, good to see you. I appreciate any super chats or anything like that. That would be awesome. And follow me on Patreon as well. If I could do more on Patreon, let me know. I'd love to know. I'm obviously trying to build it up. That would be I kind of need to. Things are pressing. So I'm kind of desperately trying to build up Patreon and any other sources of income, basically. Because things are difficult, to be perfectly honest. Thank you for saying these streams are the highlight of your week, although I feel a little bit bad for you for that as well. I feel better doing them. I enjoy doing them. I feel like I want to do more. But I'm cautious about adding stuff. Although these things aren't exactly difficult, are they? I just sit here with the microphone on. I guess if I do them and people turn up, then I'm happy to keep doing them. And we can always find stuff to talk about, right? I mean, I'm going to talk about spiraling at some point. And feel free to suggest anything. Feel free to, bring anything up. I'm cool with that. So yeah, I distracted myself. Spiraling. I do it a lot. Sometimes I do it quickly. I can get wound up pretty quick. And that tends to be angry stuff. Fears and worries last longer. They're a sort of dull humming noise in the background of life. The worries. They're just there. And when things get quiet enough, you can just listen carefully in the night and you can hear that noise. You can hear that background noise of long worry. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. You still haven't done this. You need to do that. All these worries that come out. And they kind of make you want to get up out of bed as well. To some time. I mean, God, if I could get up and do something about them all, that'd be great. But if I could do something about them, I wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. So those spirals they hang around a while. They're really long things. Whereas the other spirals, where you're sort of having imaginary arguments with people, I don't know if it's an MPD or a BPD thing or both. And I realise I should do t-shirts that say it's an MPD thing as well. Because the imaginary arguments thing, it takes several forms. That I think you get the ones where you sort of shouting at somebody because you just need to unload. I've had that where there's been people that I've needed to shout at. I felt like I wanted to shout at in real life. And so I end up ruminating on it and doing it in my brain, which keeps me awake. And then other times I just imagine arguments. I just imagine situations, and it's usually worry related. Last night I was lying in bed arguing with the guy at Universal Credit. And it's all sort of related to fears and worries. As I say, it's a weird thing. Those spirals can be weird. And the anger spirals are horrible. That's where you just get het up and tense. And you can't relax, you can't calm down, you can't focus on anything else. You're just so in the zone of anger. And then it sort of becomes that blanket of anger. And you spend hours wrapped up in it, not sleeping. You can end up just pacing around the house. But I have spent hours pacing around the neighborhood at 4 a.m. here. Not for a little while, actually. which is good. Excuse me while I drink. We are live. But that feeling that, God, I can feel it now when I remember it. It's got so much tense, so much wound upness to it. An adjective, wound upness. I think you know what I mean, don't you? And it's God. I'm sorry. I'm getting caught up in it as I talk about it. I hate that. I hate that. The whole thing. They suck you in these spirals. You just think about this argument you want to have, these things you want to shout. How can you win? And even when if you're at whatever stage I'm at, and I'm liking to think at this point that I'm a little bit towards better, it all still comes out in your head, right? Because I'm not, when I imagine these arguments, they're not the calm, controlled ways of dealing with situations that I would like to use in real life, right? It's not actually practice. It's tension relief, but also tension buildup because you're imagining being in the situation. So it comes with all the adrenaline and the anger and the rage that comes with it, and it's got nowhere to go because it's not real and it's a horrible thing. Anger spirals are they're the worst. They're the worst thing. I think they get destructive. I think they have the potential to be destructive and harmful, and involve other people and furniture and breakable things and shouting at people and that kind of thing. Anger spirals are pretty awful. But the sadness worry spirals, that's kind of where I've been, and that brings like panic and anxiety and again focusing on one thing, focusing on that one element that is causing the problem. I mean, hopefully it's one element, right? But I think even when there are many, we sort of subconsciously pick our favorite, right? We sort of subconsciously figure out which is the thing that is bothering the most, and that is what we fixate on. And so I have my thing, I have my thing that I am currently fixated on, that is currently really worrying me. And it acts like a weight around your ankle and it starts dragging you down and it starts drowning you and it starts really pulling you under. And you I feel like you can either just choose to give up and let it pull you under, or you can choose to struggle. And I choose to struggle. I choose to try and uh not do the right thing, do the thing I need to do to get myself out of the feeling that I'm stuck in, because I don't want to be in the feeling. And the spirals pull you down. They're like little whirlpool things that pull you down, and you can try and fight the current. And so that's what I'm trying to do. This is helping so much, right? Just talking about it, just going over stuff and vocalizing it and having having this outlet is so amazing. And I hope you can all find some sort of outlet. And I've got group tomorrow as well, so that's another good thing. I can just go and pour my brain out at a number of people. Bless them. I always feel bad for them when it's a night before a group when I know I'm going to unload a load of stuff. And I know they're there for that, and they're awesome people, and all of that. But it's like, oh, you don't know. You don't know. Bless them. But I've been pulling myself out of it. The self-care stuff helps a lot. It really does. I'm going to do some more house cleaning after this, I think. Or maybe in the morning. Because I'm getting a bit messy in here. This is probably the room in my house that I spend the most time in. And it is currently under mess, to say the very least. I'm developing a pile of pop bottles down to my left. You can't. The mess you can't see is astounding. If you could see the things in front of me, you'd be horrified. Um, Incidentally, I noticed my printer made a little appearance in the corner of the video in today's video, and I really am annoyed about that. But what can you do? Not annoyed enough to do it again, but I hate that. I really hate that. Oh well. So it's a mess in here, and I need to tidy that. But eating enough food, getting some sleep, doing all that stuff, and actually getting stuff done, it feels good. It feels beneficial, and it moves you on, and then you can start to do it. So I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better, but it took me a long time to identify it this time round, and it took me a long time to sort of do anything about it either. Well, obviously, I can't do one without the other, can I? So, I know we all have that messy room, don't we? There are so many messy rooms. So many messy rooms. And I have dog all over everything. Oh, does he shed? You try and he's not as bad as some dogs, right? He's not like a husky or something like that. He is just a Labrador, and he sheds how a Labrador sheds, but it's still a lot. Still a lot. Bless him. I'm blessing a lot now. We all have that room. I do need to take the recycling out instead of building it up into a little mountain here. I could do 10-pin bowling with empty Coke bottles. Shameful. No one ever comes up here though. That's how I get away with it. That's how I live with it. This is like an office with a computer in. There's no reason for anyone to come in here. It's not a living room. It's not a kitchen. It's not a bathroom. It's not a bedroom. This is just my room. So it's horrible. I have got a nice new mouse mat, which was clean for about 30 seconds, and now it's just covered in disgustingness. And it will be until I buy a new one. So there you go. At least I haven't spilt anything on this one yet. I did get a new one because my last one was probably just soaked in so much coffee and orange juice. It was ridiculous. And all this helps. Spiraling moods, doesn't it? You've got to laugh when your mood spirals. You've got to do something. You've got to, I don't know, whatever. But I recommend eating chocolate and cleaning your house. I was going to look up stuff just out of interest. Good ideas for self-care. Let's see if we're missing anything. And by the way, there is like a 15-year-old inside me that giggles and links self-care with masturbation every time I say it. Yeah. Leave me alone and I'll practice a little self-care. Just me and the internet. That's what we'll do. Oh, we've got quite an article here. Let's switch back to desktop, can we? No, I'm not joining Groove Insider. You get any and I'll come back. Self-care ideas, 32 free ways. That's important. Is it? I don't care. I had a kebab earlier. That wasn't free, but it was a great way of looking after myself. Technically not a kebab, actually. It didn't have any bread element, because I found out that the place that I go to does the thing where they just take what was in the kebab and put it on chips. So I get chips with the thing anyway. So I'm really just giving up the bread part. It's a bit cheaper and it's enough food. I don't need the naan bread. Oh, you put no thought into this whatsoever. Oh, I thought this isn't an article. This is just a list of things. This took somebody 15 seconds to write. Read a book or magazine. A magazine's still a thing. Walk in nature. Meditate. Sleep in on the weekend. Watch the clouds. Unplug from social media. Colour in. Draw or paint. I hate all of these. Do yoga, that's fine. Breathe. This is a very low effort thing here that Google has found for me. Groove by Mentamere. Helping you find your people, find their groove. Make the move to groove and you'll be giving your workplace leadership and people... Why the hell have you... Stupid Google. Marie Claire. It's basically the same thing. Oh, at least they've taken the effort. This is what I was expecting. To write a paragraph underneath each thing. Thank you. This has been a properly written article to a certain extent. It's still go outside into nature. You go outside into nature. It's cold out. And there are wolves after me. Get your body moving. That's true, actually. That definitely works. Why does it have to mention Joe Wicks? There are countless home workouts and Joe Wicks YouTube workouts. You didn't have to mention him. He does my head in now. He does my head in now. Get your groove on. I do like getting my groove on. Or occasionally getting funky. Breathing in and out. I do that constantly. Take a cold shower. No. Having bubble baths is great, but it flattens me, right? Once I have a bubble bath, I'm done for the day. So that needs to happen at night time. I should do that when I can't sleep. I should have a bubble bath. Or read a book. Or practice positive self-talk. The hell is that? Didn't change out of your pajamas all day, made a mistake at work, said the wrong thing to the wrong person. We've all been there, says Chatty Dobson. Yoga teacher and owner of Flex Chatty Dobson. That sounds like a nickname that your mates give you when you're the person who won't shut up. But we've all come out the other side too, Shians. Cutting out your inner negative talk is one of the ultimate forms of self-care. Try giving it to go, she advises. There's no information there in that paragraph whatsoever about what that involves or what that is. We have to click on other things. Why it's time to rethink positive thinking. I feel like I'm in a Marx Brothers sketch. Does this article link me to 7 other articles? And I need all of those. I honestly, I'm in a Marx Brothers sketch. This isn't a Marie Claire article. Try meditating. Cook a nourishing meal. Try a new dish. My plates are fine. Get your energy flowing. You were running out of ideas at this point, weren't you? That's such a shit one. Come on. Get dressed up. I'll just go and put my suit on and sit around the house. Listen to an audiobook. You've really come back from read a book here. Is get someone to read a book to you in real life coming up. Badly. I mean, it's so many ideas you've tried to go for anyway. Practice daily gratitude. These all sound like code for masturbation. Smash some goals. I've gone into a really dark place with this and I'm just hearing them all as dirty things. Reflect on your day. That's not necessarily self-care. Drink, drink, drink. Careful how you interpret that, please. Water, that is. Making sure you're hydrated and drinking 2 litres of water a day is good for a whole plethora of things. A whole plethora. I don't like this use of language, you know. Watch a movie. Turn your phone off. No, that's where all the fun things are that I obsess over. Try a new hobby. Like baking. You know, baking's a good one, right? Because then you can eat it. That feels like a good way to practice self-care with baked goods. And it's not that hard, is it? You just put flour in things and make it hot. That's essentially what baking is, I believe. You should do that. Top tip: try to use your senses as much as possible. Think about how the ingredients look and feel through the process of turning them into a meal. What aromas? This is mindfulness, actually. That's kind of sensible. You know, that's a good thing. Challenge yourself to learn a new skill. You really were running out of ideas. You should ask friends at this point. Try a new hobby like baking. Challenge yourself to learn a new skill. You needed too many things on this list than you could come up with. We've just been over that. Write a self-care journal. Here, buy one of these journals. Oh, Mary. Enjoy your silence. Like Ron Swanson sat in the woods. What the hell is this video playing, by the way? I've just seen it. What is... Go away. Improve your sleep quality. Nailing your sleep hygiene is one of the more simple self-care ideas that is vital for smashing your day ahead, according to Jolwyn. Isn't that the name of Thor's hammer? Enjoy a massage. Is that self-care? Go for a picnic. Listen to a podcast. Try daily affirmations, okay? Practice being present with mindfulness. Take time with your skincare. I should do that. I should just rub moisturizer all over myself all day. That would be a fun way to... We're back to masturbation again. Reduce screen time. Declutter and clean your space. Would it be crass to simply just suggest masturbation? I don't want to click on these things, but they kind of make me want to click on these things. Why? I don't want to know what that is. I'm more interested in Ultimate Guide to Wedding Dress Preservation. Anyway. How are we doing in the chat room? Mindfulness cooking is a good form of self-care. Touching grass. I actually find that pretty good, to be honest. I miss having grass around, which sounds weird because I live in the countryside almost. I live very close to... Is Keighley the countryside? No, it's not. It's countryside adjacent, right? There's lots of green areas and dales and that kind of thing. There's lots of greenness around here. But if you have a house with a lawn or something like that, you can have private grass. Then you inevitably at some point walk on it in bare feet. And I don't have that here. I don't have any outside space of the house. And haven't had a house with that for a long time. But that feeling of standing on grass, God, it's been a while. Barefoot on grass. Or even sand for that matter. God, mind you, it feels like it's been a long time since pretty much everything. To be perfectly honest, that might be a COVID thing more than anything else, though. I do like these t-shirts. You should all get one. There's a link in the chat room. But anyway. Yeah, so I spiraled. I was worried that I had, like, gone down as far as some sort of suicidal ideation. I don't think I have. I don't think I did. I never did, really. That involves, I think, to really go to it, it involves a great deal more giving up than I'm prepared to do ever, even at my lowest. And it's so past, even when it. Although I think the last week or two is perhaps the closest I've been to it in a while, to feeling that way and to having those kind of thoughts, but still not as an as panicked, urgent thing. So it's all good. It's all coming out. These things bounce. They go down, but they come back. You know, you can. It's easy to come back out of these things eventually. I think you just have to try and notice that you're doing it. And I do the same things every time. I keep hearing bangs that are outside, and it distracts me. Anyway. God, you'd think it would be quiet now. I think that's why I'm hearing the bangs. It is quiet. And so anything louder than quiet is heard. That's what I meant to say. So, yeah, I've kind of lost my train of thought now. I don't know what else to say about spiraling, really. For me, it's just about recognizing that pattern of what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm getting better at it, but there's a lot of practice still needed. There's a lot of learning to recognize that pattern and do the right thing to jump on it. It's one of those that, because it pulls you down, it sort of encourages you to go along with it. And when you're doing that, when you're being encouraged to go along with it, it's difficult to try and either ask for help or try and grab on to a lifeline in some way, even if it's your own. So I think learning to identify those behaviors, the patterns of downward spirals, is important, and they'll be different for everybody. So you kind of, I think you have to go through it a lot, which we kind of do, luckily enough, in a bizarre way. So you get the chance to practice, but then you have to notice that you've done it, sort of notice your behavior and come out of it, and then you can look back and assess what you did. You can't really figure these things out as you're going through them. That's not the best time to do the therapy, I don't think. You kind of have to go through the bad thing, and then when you're coming out, you can look back and assess. And I think that the last thing any of us can do when we're sort of in the throes of stuff, whatever it is, try and stop to analyze behavior can be very difficult and stressful and just add to whatever it is you're going through, which doesn't make it easy to come out of it as quickly, which is what we're actually aiming to do. So unless anyone in the chat room has anything that they want to talk about or anything like that, again, any super thanks, super likes, Patreon subscriptions, t-shirt sales or whatever are very much appreciated, and help support me in the channel. That is awesome of you people who do that, and I appreciate it very much indeed. Should I do more live streams? Should I do longer live streams? I don't feel like I've been going very long tonight, but it's 39 minutes. I can pick more topics to talk about, I think, ultimately. There are ways to sort of drag this out and make it a longer show without dragging it out, really. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, so let me know. Leave comments. Always leave comments. I love hearing from you and getting feedback. And you guys saying, hey, why don't you do this? Or why don't you stop doing that? Or whatever. Yeah, it's all appreciated. And it helps me out no end. So thank you, everybody. Again, who turned up live. Thank you for watching this again. If you are watching a replay, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.